Nobody likes onions, and that's why I'm leaving you.
I am a lonely little petunia in an onion patch, an onion patch, an onion patch.
Can't you see? He's the Red Cross. Dressing can.
I'm a lonely little petunia in an onion patch, an onion patch, an onion patch.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Nobody likes onions. We're continuing from the last show. If you are just joining us, well, it's good timing because I think what lies ahead is some of the most magical experience that you'll ever... I gotta fix this duck. That comes back way too quick. Now it'll come back slower, and I think it'll be just right. Listen, you have a... Three, 23818. Don't call. Welcome back. So there's a little noise in the room because I got a fan going. A box fan. I'm in the middle of an argument with this landlord of this place because of the lack of proper ventilation and ducting back here. But I don't want to get you thinking too much about it. You're all in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. Welcome to the show. We're about to talk. We're moving on from Thai, okay? We're a little tired of that right now. Okay, there's plenty of bad Thai things. Ludo's so good with the puns. Motherfuckers act like they forgot about Trez. So Trez Mala. Let's just get into it. Trez Mala, local comic. I'm pretty sure I've met him in person. I'm not positive. I have no real memories and formed no real impressions of this person at all. So, Patrick, why would you lead off on a program to talk about him when it doesn't really fucking matter? Like, why do you care so much if it doesn't matter? And fair point. But here's what happened. Here's where it all got started. Now, I am just a man. I'm a lowly man. And I can't be expected to, when presented with the spectacle of a person, ignore that and not talk about it. Now, Trez Mala would have never come on my radar. Thai was on my radar, but I don't stick my nose into people's business, believe it or not. I'd watch Thai posting insane shit for years. Never said a word until he comes on my page, starts shit with me. That's where this all happened. This all got weird, okay? And Trez goes on to Thai's thread about me and says about me, he's not a real comedian anyway. He's kind of a comic. Now, we all kind of knew what that meant. It was an insult, you know. It was definitely meant as a pejorative. Like this definitely carried a connotation with it that wasn't positive. And like in his mind, he and Ty are real comedians. I'm just a comic. But we didn't know what that meant, and we didn't know too much about this Trez guy. But clearly, you know, he's pounding his chest a little. He must be some hot shit. Then we find out, you know, because I've got people out there sending in the secrets all the time. I can't do anything. I don't have any shotgun sound effects today. I don't have any echo on my board. It's not working. I'm rerouting everything on here, so it's all fucked. I'm throwing out cable. I've got a hum in this cable. Slowly going through and ridding myself of shit. So stay tuned for that. I'm throwing things out of my life. You could be next. But this Trez Mala guy, you know, throws this shade. I see it. And then I start, you know, coming back at this guy like, what the fuck? Well, we start getting intel from all the people who know these people. And again, you know, now I'm the guy who's going to be labeled the bully and the bad guy, but it's like I'm just fucking answering shit. And now that I've shown a flashlight in the corner and seen all the cockroaches scurry, I'll be damned if I'm not going to fucking call them out. Or we're going to talk about it. It's a pandemic, people. We got nothing to do. It's pandemic time. So fuck it, you know. Let's do it. Here's what we found out about Trez, the guy who's running around calling people not a comic. Trez Mala works doing the commentary for a tourist bus trip to Hoover Dam. So he's a bus tour guide to Hoover Dam. And when we found this out, you know, worlds explode, minds exploded, heads exploded. Once you find this kind of shit out. But then reports start coming in about his comedy. And everyone, and I mean everyone, we've talked to 700 comedians in Vegas. Everyone's like, this guy's not good. He's not funny. It's like a well-known thing. Like it's an in-joke around the comedy scene in Vegas that Trez Mala isn't funny. Like most of the shows he works are shows where he runs them. And it's not always. But generally, if you're the kind of guy who's running a show or an open mic, you're not a great comic, and you use that as leverage to get spots other places. So the guys running all these little like bar open mics, most of them are not good. There are some comics in Vegas who are very good, who are associated with running nights, help run nights, produce nights. I'm not sure. I don't go, you know what I mean? Like I'm not really out at many bars doing spots. But, you know, but Trez Mala runs this bar gig at Chankless Casino, Chankless Cantina, Chonkless. I don't know how you say it. Chunkless? He runs a thing there. And the other day I see, I followed him on Instagram because obviously when someone talks mad shit, I want to like see what they're up to. Obviously, if I'm doing it wrong, I need to learn something. You know, I'm not like Ty. I'm not above like learning what I'm doing wrong. So I see he posts a link to this. This is, let's close the unbothered out. We're done with that for today. Let's go to this. And boy, oh boy, are you going to love this. This is a website called Anchor, which is where losers go to do a podcast. All these guys who are like brand new to podcasting, trying to figure it out, go with like companies you've never heard of. Here's a company called Anchor, which I've never heard of. And here's a guy named Moonshine Jones, who I've also never heard of. Moonshine with a Y. And when you go down, one of the first podcasts you'll see on here is... Dun, 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 dun. Oh, fuck, he's posting a lot of content here. Yesterday, it was like just Trez Mala was the latest show, and then he posted this one yesterday, and then today he's just opened the floodgates with garbage. Patrick and I discussed what's wrong with Hollywood. What? How dare he use my name? There's a show on here called Interview with Trez Mala, and I think we would be doing ourselves a disservice if we didn't use this as a jumping off point to learn about this man, Trez. Bad3 is what we say around here. Bad3. And it's just a little Spanish, okay? Don't be afraid of it. Be multicultural. And jump in. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play this show. It's one of the worst, most basic, unneeded podcasts in history. This guy decided to start podcasting, I guess. We scrolled back in this the other night. Let's see. I think he started in July. This is part of my stand-up set. Oh, shit, I missed this. July 30th, okay? July 30th is when he started this podcast. So imagine the mindset. Can you imagine? Okay? This is the fundamental idea behind can you imagine? Can you imagine getting into the pandemic around February, March, when you realize, like, oh, shit, like, this is going to be a thing? Hang on, is he using Anchor FM for his podcast? Yes. Is that bad? I don't know what that is. I just think it's funny. All these guys always use services I've never heard of. Like, none of these people, it's like, I love that. I also love, like, half these comedians, like, be friends with comedians with, like, decent podcasts. And they never even ask anybody. They just go like, hey, man, what's up? I signed up with steamroom.pod. And I'm like, what's that? And they're like, oh, they give you, like, you pay by the minute and by the download. And it's cool because, like, if you have, like, less than 10 downloads, which we do right now, you know, it's only, like, $40 a month. It's like, what? Who are you talking to? It's very popular lately because it's free. I'm sure, believe me, I'm sure this guy didn't sink a budget into this. Here we go. So you've got this guy, Moonshine Jones. The pandemic hits. Hold on. It's a service which pays you small amounts of money to run ads, even to no listeners. Then they upload your podcast to all platforms, but they own your RSS feed. Yeah, no, look, all these guys have no clue what they're fucking doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Thai Rivera is lost. For an 80-year-old man, we expect you to be a little better at technology. No, I don't know. This guy goes into lockdown in March. Thinks to himself, you know, everything is locking down. Who knows when we'll have a vaccine and this virus should have let up. I better pivot to doing online stuff. How about a podcast? That's not completely saturated yet. It's only 2020. I'll start a podcast. But everything I just said, that whole logic from like, things are locking down, I'll start a podcast. That whole process of thinking of that took him March, April, May, June, all of July 30th. Okay, so this is days ago. Okay, since July 30th, this guy has posted 60 to 97 episodes, and this is 11 days, 12 days. You know, he posted one here. It's 7 minutes. I didn't see this. It's called Jokes. He says, part of my stand-up set. I don't know who Moonshine Jones is, but why not? Before we meet the man who's going to interview Trez Mala so we can learn about him, why don't we learn about Moonshine Jones with some of his stand-up? Here we go. Maybe he's great.
Hey guys, Moonshine Jones here for the Moonshine Jones podcast. Why Anchor? Why not? Anchor allows me to reach my target audience. It allows me to tell
Well, there we go. We've already learned.
Americans what an amazing country this is, and I do it all through Anchor. Go ahead right now, head to the Google Play Store, and download the Anchor app today.
This guy taking a shit right now? Download the Anchor app. Jesus, why not?
Don't regret it. This is Moonshine Jones
for
the Moonshine Jones podcast. Hey guys, Moonshine Jones here.
They have an app that lets you edit your podcast on your phone. Dope.
Just wanted to work out a little bit of
And it sounds the same as a normal oh, no, it sounds like shit? Oh, okay, that makes sense.
comedy since I'm not able to perform right now, kind of like a 85-year-old.
Oh, no, he's not going to do his stand-up into the... I thought it was just going to be a recording of some of his stand-up. But he's saying, because he can't do comedy right now, he's going to do... Oh, no. Oh, no.
Man at an orgy. It looks like fun, but I can't perform. All right, my name's Moonshine Jones. Moonshine, because beer sounded stupid. And they couldn't call me Brewski because we weren't Polish. We were Irish. Well, he couldn't call me Guinness because I wasn't dark enough.
Oh, boy.
There was more proof in moonshine there was in my DNA test. My dad made love to a prostitute and they produced me illegally. That's why they call me Moonshine.
Oh, no.
You've heard of moonshine still. Well, there's nothing still about this moonshine. I have ADHD. And that's funny because I was always told that moonshine was high in concentration.
Oh, man, the crickets are starting.
Yeah, so I recently found my birth certificate. I was excited, so I saw it was written in pencil with a lot of question marks. But there was a dollar store application attached to it. So, yep, I was destined for greatness. And let's be honest, folks. Birth certificate. A certificate is a documentation of achievement or skill. You didn't do anything. You were just born. Just like the rest of your life. Mama did everything. And isn't a birth certificate really the original participation trophy?
Halloween is awesome.
Now from the great state of Tennessee, good old Tennessee. Rocky Top, Tennessee. From the white part of Tennessee. You may have heard of it. It's called Tennessee. It's a good place to live. It's all white.
All right. So just to give you an idea of what we're dealing with Moonshine Jones, I've heard enough. We've only listened to a third of it, but I'm good on Moonshine Jones. Let's get into the interview with Trez Mala, Bad3. All right. Let's find out what Bad3 is all about right now.
Hey guys, Moonshine Jones here for the Moonshine Jones podcast. Why Anchor?
Why not?
Anchor allows me to reach my target audience. It allows me to tell Americans what an amazing country this is, and I do it all through Anchor. Go ahead right now, head to the Google Play Store, and download the Anchor app today. You won't regret it. This is Moonshine Jones for the Moonshine Jones podcast.
Did it stop playing? What happened?
Here we go.
Oh, shit.
All right, it's the Moonshine Jones podcast. I'm your host, Moonshine Jones. What a great day it is to be an American. Wait, that's every day.
So how does this work? They record this on their podcast? No, this is not Bad3 yet.
Glad to have everybody here at the Moonshine Jones podcast checking us out. We're growing, folks. We are growing. Put the water on us, baby. We are moving along. I'm excited today.
There were like 80.
They're always special.
18 listens of this show.
Special. Little pour some sugar on me from Def Leppard, if you will. Trez Mala, not to be confused with Mala or the Mamba. Trez Mala.
Everyone says his name like it's the first time they're saying his name. Like, this can't be right. Everyone says his name like the hostess at the restaurant calling out for a party. Like, I know this isn't right, but Trez Mala? Like, that's what they do. That's how they say it.
Mala is with us today. And before we get to Trez, we got a little business to handle. FlagsSoldHere.com, folks.
FlagsSoldHere.com.
You're looking for a flag, an acre and a half of land from Ottawa, Tennessee to Cleveland, Tennessee, Route 11. They've got your flag. All kinds of flags. Gay people, straight people, all people. Black lives, blue lives, all lives. They've got the flag for you. They've even got Confederate flags. I know.
Oh, what a great ad. They've even got Confederate flags. Like, if you whisper it, then it's not going to be. They've even got Confederate flags. Like, guys, it's cool to be racist as long as you're super low-key about it.
Somebody cancel that. Moving along here. FlagsSoldHere.com, 423-774-2239. Remember the $20 button for life.
Trying to grind up weed, but now I gotta.
That you buy for life. $20 button, 50% off, folks. 50% off. And every flag made in the good U.S. That's FlagsSoldHere.com. Tom's Sauce Company. Tom Indoor, veteran. He took care of you. You take care of him. Tom's Sauce Company on Facebook. Tom Indoor, my infantry brother.
Look at these flags.
Okay, here we go. I pledge allegiance.
Used hats.
Of the United States of America and to the republic.
Hold on. This is the site he's saying the national anthem. Hold on. This is the FlagsSoldHere.com. Look at this dog shit. Oh my God. This is too good to be true. If you're not watching this on the YouTube version, you are missing out. Or Twitch. Look at this. This is like an old Atlanta Braves hat. You know, it's got a curve in the bill. It says brand new. As if. Look at this. As if. The bill is curved. There's stains on it. There's missing threads and scratches. Here's some cum. You know? You said this was a $39 hat, $39.99. Now it's $9. Oh yeah, totally new. We've even straightened the bill. Look at this. All our products. Trump, keep America great. Oh yeah, look at this. Peace, love, happiness. This is hippie shit. Trump shit. They have a lot of, they found a truckload of hats. And they've taken this with like the worst consumer camera with the flash on. Everything's like laid on an American flag. Yeah, Moody makes a good point. I love when a store, I love it. Yeah. You know when you have a good advertiser, when the store you're shopping at has to tell you brand new. Oh. Like, think about that anywhere in any like store you've shopped at in the past week. Imagine going into any store. Imagine going into Macy's and looking at some jeans. Wherever I don't know where you buy jeans. Anywhere from Old Navy to Dillard's. Whatever the anchor is in your local mall. Kmart. Imagine going in there and just being like, are these jeans brand new? Or is this like, no, why do I ask? Oh, they're 78% off. So I was just wondering if.
Nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is great to have Trez on the line here. About set on the request line. Good to have you, Trez. Trez is a comedian based in Las Vegas, and he has this problem. I seem to have it too. It's called patriotism. I mean, his doctor told him it was going to kill his career, but I'm pumped. So, good. Yeah, the jokes just get worse. Yeah, it has. But guess what, my friend? You're standing up for something. Even though you're eating ramen noodles right now, you're still standing up for something.
Hey, don't sell yourself short.
No, dude, for real. Thanks for having us. Or we're having you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Dope.
So before we get started, I ask everybody, who is your favorite American of all time?
That's a tough one.
Great.
I'd have to say Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine. What did you like about...
Love T-Pain.
He actually fought for...
Somebody's just been watching Hamilton.
Of everybody. He chastised the other founding fathers for having slaves.
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't the slaves that we know of as the slave trade, they're more of,
servants.
Yeah, it's a kind of a serfdom or whatever, and that's not anything I want to get into because, you can dissect that any way. But his approach to being an American and being free of the British crown, and then also the mantra that I live by. He was a guy that hammered in the old think for yourself,
Yeah.
And that's always been a...
Okay, so some things you need to know, and I'm sorry I'm multitasking here while I prepare some drugs. Trez does a podcast called the ThinkStopper. I never get it right. Stop Thinker or ThinkStopper or something like that. He is once you get into this, and I had to turn it off because it was making me so mad yesterday. If you listen to NLO radio, I'll pop on there from time to time. And yesterday I was playing some of this, and I had to turn it off. And I was like, this needs a real show because my mania won't let this be unplayed for the masses. You have to hear this guy. This is a real man. He does a podcast called the ThinkStopper podcast. And his deficiency is that he thinks he's the only one thinking. Okay? So, first of all, I think he thinks ThinkStopper means stop and think. Okay? Not all thinking has stopped. It's not a good name, but it's like if a retarded kid named something, you'd be like, all right, I see where you were trying to do. It's all right. Sure. But like he is one of these guys. Once you start hearing him talk, you go like, oh, now I get why he likes Ty. Him and Ty probably talk about how like people just can't handle us, man. Because we see shit how it really is. We're thinking outside the box, man. People like us, we're the ones who like really see shit. We tell the truth. Other people, they can't handle it. Nobody stops and thinks about it. That's what he kind of thinks. Just so you know, just a heads up on where we're at with it. But keep listening.
Thing. And another guy that I'd like to throw out there, another American.
Nope, just one. No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead.
No, just Mark Twain, though. I like Mark Twain guy.
Yeah. Samuel Clemens.
So happy to know
the old,
Samuel Clemens.
Again, common sense approach.
But Trez, he was from the South. You can't be smart and be from the South.
Yeah. Hey, you know what's sad? I grew up on the West Coast, and I always, just because of that stigma, always just had it ingrained in me to kind of be dismissive of people with a Southern accent. And holy shit, the older you get, the more you read, the wires that you get. You're like,
okay. It was a lot to break down here. First of all, the reason people associate. Okay, so you can be intelligent and have an accent. Okay, you can have a Southern accent and still be a smart guy. There are plenty of, whippersnapper businessmen in Dallas who will tell you how it is, howdy doody style. When you don't pronounce words correctly, when you don't open your mouth to speak, like Thai and maybe Trez, I haven't heard him enough. People, it's not that we associate your Southern accent. It's that those two things often go together. And anybody who's been educated to any real level, or even people who haven't been educated but who have watched television and movies, have learned to mimic people who are perceived as intelligent. You have to learn how to speak intelligently for people to perceive you as intelligent. Anybody with education and intelligence and cognitive reasoning will have stomped out lazy speaking earlier in their life because they realize that it won't get them anywhere. So, in a way, it is a tell when you don't speak correctly that you, A, not only don't give a fuck, but B, don't understand what it's doing to the perception of you as a person. Yeah, I'm sorry. Anybody with a brain who can speak correctly will speak correctly. When you take screenshots of your text and you're typing "you are," I cringe for all of you. We act like it's hard to type. We've all gone back to T9.
The Southern attorney, the Democrat, not the Democrat, but the Southern attorney doing the deliberation, which
it's almost too trite of an observation to note that people with accents can be intelligent. Yeah, I mean, it is like, duh. No, it's like there are some good Jews. It's like, okay, what a weird thing to say. It's like saying your hats are new.
Most elegant, well-spoken, and intelligent people. It's really a shame that's the
Do
stigma.
you know where the Southern accent comes from? Jeopardy music,
I really
please.
don't.
It is actually Jeopardy music, please.
It's a thing I do. It's a bit.
It is actually British and Irish.
I could see that.
That's why when you watch The Walking Dead with Daniel Lincoln, he plays such a good Southern accent because he's really not hardly playing. He's almost doing it in a way like an Australian accent because it's.
So in a way, we're smarter than them. What are we like? Where are we going with this?
An offshoot of the British accent and the Irish accent. So
what's funny is in my stand-up, I've always
what is funny?
I've been to and I've always watched.
This is another one of these guys. Like, I'm sorry. This guy can't talk. You know what I mean? And then you find out, oh, he does stand-up comedy, and actually he's a tour guide for a Hoover Dam bus company. It's like, this guy can't talk. Burn his house down. This guy can't speak. These guys mumble and fumble and stumble and jumble words. They cannot put together sentences, thoughts. They get asked questions and hum, bum, stumble around like maniacs. Like I've never seen so many comedians, orators not be able to speak. Tour buses usually have a script they remember. Yeah. There's something that goes with the brain power, I guess. They can't like operate their brain and their mouth at the same time. They need all the steam in their head to formulate what elementary thoughts are going on. They can't divert any down to the mouth. And so we just get tongue-tied. There's another pun. Put that one on the pun-tied.
I've always watched British comedy. Like The Young Ones is like one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, why don't they have an audio tour? Like this guy's gonna get replaced by a fucking cassette deck, and I said cassette, and I stand by it.
Yeah. And so I've always kind of had like I can do a British and an Australian accent, and you know what's funny is when I do,
I'm gonna say right now, definitively. I challenge, and when Trez Mala hears this, by the way, I don't want any fucking anxiety or anger or fight. We're going to make fun of everything you've ever done today, and then we're going to move on. It won't take long. But when this is over, I want to be friends, and I want you to come on the show and tell me about how you think the moon is hollow, and everyone's after us. These are real stories from people. Like the shit that this guy believes. I think it'd be great. We do have a lot of the same ideals. I used to be a really hardcore Republican. Now I find both sides to be disgusting. And but I also don't. I think like guys like this probably consider themselves libertarians. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to speak for them. Either way, Trez, when this is over, we're either friends who we stomp it out, you come on the show, we talk about it, we stomp it out, or you fucking turn around and never fucking look at me again. Because I'm not going to have a back and forth, okay? We're not going to have a cute, meet cute. Tat.
Do that when I get like kind of tired or I'm just kind of half-assed.
You were never very socially conservative. No.
That you mentioned that those two go hand in hand with my...
I have a brain, like, like these people who, like, ThinkStop, you know what I mean? Like, I can't take a ThinkStopper. It's too much.
Work.
By the way, tag Trez, let him know. Let him know that we've got 8 more hours of making fun of him tonight, and he can come watch.
I think that it started at a Klan rally. So, like, some dude was just talking, he's like...
I think this guy's got a family and stuff. You know, he's not interested.
We're going to stop talking like Foghorn Leghorn forever at the Klan meeting. Let's just go ahead and just start doing it now. Excuse me, Bob? Yes, we're going to talk like this.
This guy's like doing sketches. You know what I mean? To him, holy shit. We could get into Moonshine Jones, but I don't have time to go down another branch of this fucking family tree.
Okay, all right. Well, that sounds good.
You know, Trump...
This guy sucks. Moonshine Jones sucks. He thinks he's really good. He's not.
Trump talks with with an old school transatlantic accent, and uses a little bit of that vocabulary and stuff, which like fell out in the 20s actually, but. Yeah, you know, like when they, in the old school movies where they had like the fast-talking New York City slicker, the guy that worked for the press. You know?
Yeah.
That was actually, that was a mockery of the transatlantic, you know, how people spoke.
Wow.
It was kind of like it was kind of a mockery of like, kind of like the new class of people. You know, it was like the old world's way of making fun of like the new world. Because they're trying to like fit in and
great
and you know be above.
How do you fast forward this? Oh, that's way too.
The older you got, when did you figure out that you wanted to?
You know how people spoke.
Trez Mala today. He is a comedian.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love this part.
Kind of like the new class of people. You know, it was like the old world's way of making fun of like the
Moonshine Jones is like a Southern Crazy Joe.
Fit in and
No.
you know,
Crazy Joe's mentally handicapped. I mean, these guys are too, but like not that bad.
Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah. So speaking of fitting in here,
He loves segways.
we have Trez Mala today. He is a comedian from Las Vegas.
Okay, so this is great. This is just mwah. When you catch something like this. This fucking moonshine dipshit. Let's not forget, this guy's been podcasting for 11 days, okay? So he made it all the way through the nothings and all the way through the teens, not starting a podcast. He then sat through 4 months of a pandemic, didn't start a podcast. And then July 30th, 13 days ago, started a podcast. Because he's like, hey, I see they might be onto something with podding. I'll start one. And it's like, okay. So he starts a podcast 11 days ago. And listen to what he just said. You got it. Because I think Roger, this is about where I cut it off yesterday. Because I go, this has to be on a show. Because I went off on this yesterday. He's imitating what he's heard radio do. This is like what podcasters did when we started, like back in 2005. Like he's coming, like this podcast is 8 minutes in, and he's like, "Hey everybody, we're here with Trez Mala today." It's like he's acting like he has new listeners joining. Like maybe in the past 8 minutes, new listeners have come in. They're captivated by this conversation, and they're saying to themselves, because there's no Chiron on a radio show, they're saying, how could I find out who this fucking ThinkStopper is? And they're like, we're here today with Trez Mala. It's like, this is a podcast, bro. Anybody who's downloaded it, like started it at the beginning, fast forwarded through your Anchor ad, and is caught on by now, or read the name. We have it in text on the file, in the RSS. We have the information. Nobody's going, believe me, no one's listening to this going, who is that young up-and-coming comic mind? No one's interested. But you coming back, given the time every 8 minutes, like, hey, 14 past the hour, we're here with Trez Mala. No one's joining the broadcast, idiot. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Stop listening to radio, listen to a podcast if you want a podcast. Or you know what? Use your brain. But I know it's taken you 20 years and 4 months to get up the fucking idea to do a podcast. So I guess somewhere around 2032, you'll figure out you don't need to tell people what time it is.
Fitting in, tell us where you found your comedic inspirations as a kid.
This should be the gold. Okay. I also remember this from yesterday. So let's remember the question. Moonshine is asking Trez, where did you find comedic inspiration? When did you realize you wanted to be funny? And I want you to listen to Trez's response. I want you to listen.
And the older you got, when did you figure out that you wanted to make people laugh for a living?
We've waited so long for this. Hey, Trez Mala, when did you figure out you wanted to laugh? What was your inspiration? I mean, the question was long. He had a long time to, start thinking about an answer. This was a long wind-up. Like, hey, when did you realize that you thought about entertaining and being an inspiration to be funny and realize that that's what you wanted to do for a career? Long silence. Gulp. Okay. Well, now you must have an answer put together, right? Now you're going to just expound into... I mean, you've been asked this a lot of times. You know why you got into being funny. Let's hear.
How it all came about.
I'm not pausing it. This is real time.
Was my grandpa, who just turned 94.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How'd you get into being funny? How that came about was my grandpa, who side tangent, unrelated completely, even though we're already kind of in that territory, just turned 94. Oh wow, congratulations! As if that's something you say when someone's grandfather turns 94, and then Trez right back at him. Oh, thank you. It's like, oh yeah, because you had a lot to do with it. Okay, moving on. Hey, when did you want to be funny?
He was always, he was very steadfast on me.
Oh, he was very steadfast on you. Great. All good side notes. Hey, when did you realize you wanted to be funny?
Being in public speaking, anybody really. He was just like, it was. He always told me it's good.
It would good to do public speaking. What the fuck is happening? You're all punking me, right? This is all a prank. This can't be real. I can't have Ty and him out here shitting on comics and unable to put together a sentence. He was asked a long lead up to a question that's very simple. Hey, when did you start comedy? How did you get into this? What made you realize you wanted to start being funny? Public speaking, very important. My grandpa's birthday. What? We still haven't answered the question. I've learned about people's birthdays. You know what I mean? That's how much time has passed since this question began.
If you need to, for a job, it's good to be able to speak in front of people. Remember?
If you need to, for a job, but anyone have speak in front of this sounds like a broken transmission from Mars.
We always hammering that in. Hold on one second. She's at work. My dog.
This is about public speaking, and I can't handle it anymore, okay? You're all punking me. There's no way this guy talks for money, you know, unless it's fucking whatever that fake fictional currency from Second Life is. Dinars, is it? And I don't want to get mail on that, okay? I know that's a real currency. And I'm very aware of Linden dollars, okay? So I don't want to get mail on that.
I just woke up.
That happens. It's okay.
I mean, these two, this just fucking feedback error. These two just going at it.
He's told me he'd always hammered in, public speaking, don't be afraid. It'll help you out with at least a job interview. But he goes, you'll always...
Imagine him fumbling his way through a job interview. Well, he failed his grandfather on the public speaking thing. Yeah, like, no shit. Like, what are you talking about? How did you know when you wanted to be funny was the question. I've learned when your grandfather's birthday is, how he thought public speaking was an important life skill for you to have, which you've completely failed at, and how he thought that was a completely important skill for anybody and could help them with job interviews. When did you realize you wanted to be funny? He still hasn't answered the question. We could be here for a while. Could somebody give him the light?
Because if you can speak in front of people and you can make that your line of work, you'll always have work because there's 92% of the population's terrified of...
His grandfather told him public speaking was important, so he went out and got a job as a bus tour guide. Proud to serve, sir.
Of speaking in front of others. Because even if it's a small group that they know, even if it's a work group, they know everybody. So I just, that was always something that was mentioned as a kid. But one time my grandpa worked in, he was a deputy probation.
Holy shit. I'm not writing a book on your if I wanted to interview your grandfather, I would. How did you want to be I bet you're sorry you asked this, Moonshine Tones.
Officer in the juvenile courts and whatever the juvenile system.
Yeah.
So he was
Yeah.
he was not a camp director, but he was acting camp director because he couldn't get the.
None of these guys can talk. They all stumble and fumble and bumble their way through every story. They don't know how to edit. They don't know how to say important details and not overcorrect unimportant details. They always circle back and like correct some unimportant bullshit ancillary detail that has nothing to do with anything. And not like in a way you do for the radio, like when you're doing a show just to tell a story. Like they're just all shit. Like why is no one calling any of these guys out? And this guy's literally running around like shitting on comics. Can you imagine? In between what time? You have a family and you have a fucking bus tour to do. In between what time? The
title, he never had the title because he didn't have the college degree.
Fuck.
Which actually, real quick side note.
Bad3.
Trump just signed that a college degree doesn't determine your worth or position of a job in the government now. So my grandpa would, my grandpa, because of that, the best man for the job. Jeez, imagine.
Both him and Ty have this fucking trait that when anybody like Moonbeam Jones just fucking made some crazy laugh that was way inappropriate for like whatever the shitty joke was. And Trey, this is another like classic new comic behavior. Trez realized that he laughed and he went like, oh, I'm getting laughs from that, and circled back and then doubled down on the passion involved in the bit because he had confidence now. This guy hasn't had confidence in anything he said so far. So listen to Trez make a stupid joke. It's not even really a joke, just kind of an observation. Listen to Moonbeam, what's his name? Moonlight, go into, like, start losing his shit, laughing wildly. And then listen to Trez, who was already moving on to something else, circle back with double confidence, rephrasing that joke again to come back with a second laugh. Really cringe amateur comic behavior. I'm going to play it back. Listen to this shit.
The title because he didn't have the college. I just, that was always something that was mentioned as a kid. But one time my grandpa worked in, he was a deputy probation officer in the juvenile courts and, whatever, the juvenile system. Yeah. So he was not a camp director, but he was acting camp director because he couldn't get the title. He never had the title because he didn't have the college degree. Which actually, real quick side note, Trump just...
Nothing is real quick with this guy.
A college degree doesn't determine your worth or position of a job in the government now. So my grandpa would... my grandpa, because of that...
Twice.
For the job.
3 years. 3 years. Yeah. My grandpa... Like, the fucking... Woo. Bowing up with that confidence when that laugh came out.
Jeez, imagine fucking that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So my grandpa...
Ooh, that's hard. That's hard to listen to.
He would have the title of camp director if that was the case. But at any rate, he was in charge. He was the guy... Yep, I see it, babe. He was the guy that's in charge of all the keys, and all that stuff, and making all the big decisions when the other guy wasn't around. So...
If you came on my podcast and had your child running around in the background, I'd be like, is this not a good time? I'm sorry. Look, I know you guys all love to go to bars and perform for 19 people, but I send this show out to thousands, so I'd like your full fucking attention. I know, I realize that you're such a fucking gifted speaker, and your mind is moving at a pace that we can only begin to imagine with our, pre-reptilian brains. And I realize that your multitasking skills are out of this world. Probably up there with the hollow moon, if I had to put my finger on it. But could you put your daughter outside the room while you're on my show for an hour? You know what I mean? Your daughter's running around. You're already, stumbling and fumbling and bumbling. You've given a million side notes and still not answered anything about being funny. So I don't know what's happening now. We're beyond help.
He worked 4 days a week. He would stay up there and live.
Just like giving his grandfather's schedule and like when he liked his figgy pudding. Like, who gives a shit, you know?
And at the Thanksgiving dinner, and this is like probably like anywhere from, probably 500 plus kids.
Yeah.
They were all like grown men to me at the time. I was probably like 5 or 6.
Great. Put it in your memoir.
My grandpa would always go up and he'd do a big talk and stuff, and he'd bring me up on stage just so, I guess to help out with the, slowly breaking the fear of, or whatever, just making it a commonplace of me being in front of a crowd, if you will.
Fuck.
Before we got on stage, one of his buddies, Mr. Kennedy, he was the chef for the camp. He'd come up and he would be like,
I'm not trying to be mean, Trez. It's painful listening to you.
Because you just tell him, oh, that's just my bald-headed grandpa,
Yeah.
So I didn't know what was going on, but we went up on stage and he was roasting me. He was talking and stuff, and then my grandpa was like making fun of me, and I'm like, I don't know what's like really going on. So he'd go, so what? He goes, what do you think about that, Spike? And I just remember saying, like, I guess it was like perfect timing. And I was like, don't listen to him. That's just my bald-headed grandpa. And the whole place erupted. Like, they just were, like, it was a belly laugh. It was the whole place just howled. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck just happened. I don't know what that is.
But I like it.
I know what happened. Yeah. I know what happened. You were a child. You made a well-spoken, the most well-spoken thing you've ever said on stage at age whatever. The grown-ups laughed because that's funny for a child to say, and then you aimed your entire life towards that shooting star when you didn't have the life skills or the cerebral function to hit the target. That's what's weird. What's weird is that you as a child went out, like everybody has fucking done shows for the old people at Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? It's like we all did magic shows. We all did puppet shows. Everybody was a fucking kid who, drank out of a wine glass with the adults at Christmas. These didn't like dictate. I didn't become a sommelier. I didn't make life choices based on this. Like, I got to laugh on stage, and that's when I knew I had to be a comedian. It's like, you're still not a comedian. You're a goddamn bus driver or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk to a guy who can be replaced by a USB stick. By the way, we are selling USB sticks of the show. Please check it out at the store.
Yeah, like I want that. And so, like, I guess from then, I've never been afraid.
Yeah, he peaked at 8.
Being in front of people and stuff. And the comedian that I latched on to when I was a kid, the guy that I just thought, like, I just thought that was the way that you were supposed to deliver and how you should be in person.
Right.
But was Richard Jenny.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I wish you'd fucking take the same shower he did. Hey, how dare you?
Very dry comedian.
Yeah, I really like. I just really liked Richard Jenny, and I was a big Benny Hill guy, and I like Dean Martin. I like it. I just like they're.
Maybe you only like those things because your brain is so slow that that's all you've gotten up to yet. Like, wait until you hear Chappelle. Your mind might explode. He's just like, I'm halfway through the Carson Tonight shows, and they've got some new guy coming in with a chin. We'll see how it goes. How is there another 50 minutes? Yeah. I mean, there's not. If you put this into Overcast, I bet the show is 30 minutes long. Because Overcast has that AI that cuts out all the gaps in audio. So, like, you know, all his... When he ThinkStops... When they ask him a real brain buster, like, how'd you get into comedy 17 minutes ago that he still hasn't answered? You know, it would cut out all those gaps where he stopped thinking.
They're way about things. They weren't stand-ups by any means, you know?
Yeah.
But I just noticed throughout my life, like, I'd read old yearbooks, and everybody's like, oh, I can't wait till next year to sit next to you. You always keep me laughing. They're like, oh, you're hilarious.
Like, this is what's so funny. Like, when people, like, no offense, I had somebody ask me the other day, like, hey, do you think Kool-Aid, somebody really said this to me, like, Kool-Aid is, like, kind of copying you on Twitch a little bit. Like, do you worry that, like, Kool-Aid is, like, it's like, first of all, like, everyone in the world who's, like, doing streaming and shit is, like, getting tips and picking up things from people that they see or that they watch. So, like, no. Also, like, I'm not Kool-Aid. What he does is different than me. Like, there's never going to be, like, that kind of, like, look, people go watch his stream. People from his stream come watch my stream. I'm all fine with that. But there's no, like, yeah, exactly. Kool-Aid's playing Animal Crossing. You know what I mean? I'm crossing animals. That was gay. I do apologize for it. Let's not mention it, and let's move on.
I hope we have class next year. But, like, you know, thanks for keeping me laughing all year and stuff. And then, you know, I started thinking, I was like, man, how many times do I get people telling me, oh, I must be a comedian, or, oh, you think you're a comedian, or, you know, something, or a cop.
These are fucking sayings. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, people come around this guy and just fucking, like, say idioms, and then he thinks it's, like, some cryptic coded message, you know? This guy hears a fucking dog whistle that's a career calling to him. This guy's fucking out of his mind. Somebody tells him something's bigger than a bread basket, and he goes out and applies at a bakery. You know what I mean? People, when I was a kid, a couple of people said to me, like, oh, you think you're a comedian? It's like, yeah, everyone who's, you know, ever watched any Home Alone-esque movie where the bad guy has that line. Some kind of comedian, Like, that's not they weren't saying to you, like, oh my God, you're so funny, you should be a comedian. Like, no one meant that, you know what I mean? You can tell from your day job, you know what I mean? Like, why is it always that the comedians and the aspiring actors and actresses are like waitresses? Oh yeah, I'm like an actor and a waitress. Oh yeah, no, I do comedy, but I also like do color commentary for the Hoover Dam. It's like, oh, okay. Right. No. Like, how would you take one thing seriously when you measure it up with the other thing? Like, nobody's like, oh, like, during the daytime, I manage a Wall Street hedge fund worth $7 billion. And my family and I, we have 17 houses all along the fault lines of Earth. All around the world. We're very, very rich. Also, I do every Tuesday night down at Chuckles Cantina or whatever the fuck that is where you do your show. You know what I mean? Like, there's no one who's following a comic out of that place going like, oh, you must also be very successful at whatever other job you do. A, you have another job, and B, it's Hoover Dam tour driving. You know what I mean? It's always like, oh yeah, I go on auditions and I work at Del Taco. It's like, oh, so all around, just across the bar, vanilla. You know what I mean? So how are we supposed to take you seriously about any of this shit? And by the way, I don't care. I don't, like, none of this matters. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not the best comic. It's crazy to walk around thinking you're the best comic. You know, I think to me, I'm pretty fucking funny. So I'm up there for me. I'm almost 100% with me. Not 100%, but almost 100% with me. I don't get me all the time, but I get me sometimes. And when I do, I really crack the fuck up. But, you know, these guys going around like wagging fingers and telling other comics they're not real comics, when you dive into it, you sound like an autistic person with a speech impediment and you do Hoover bus tours. Like what? Like what? What are we talking about? And by the way, I have a lot more evidence to show you this guy. Not just this podcast. You're like, there's 50 more minutes of this podcast. This is the audio evidence. Wait until you hear it. There's only one part of this I really want to get to. He actually, believe it or not, on this show goes into his difference between comedians and comics. And when you hear this, Moody especially, your brain may explode. So we may not listen to the whole podcast, but as soon as we get to this part about the difference between a comic and a comedian, and remember, I'm a comic, he's a comedian. Patrick, why did you get into comedy? Answer in under 30 seconds. I thought I was funnier than everybody else. Boom. Next question. Moonlight Jones. You know, like, this isn't all these guys, like all these comics who are just getting into podcasting now. This is where I was going with the Kool-Aid thing. It's like people say, like, all these podcasts, like, aren't you worried? Like, all these podcasts, it's like, no, because this is like where everybody starts interviewing comics. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get it on this show, really. Like, I'm not saying, like, if somebody becomes a regular guest, it'll never go like, hey, when did you start comedy? You'll learn things about the person over time. But you know me, I don't bring people in here and sit them down and go like, hey, you know, like tell me when you got motivated and who are some of your favorite comics. Like, I don't do that. It's boring. Why would anybody, like, and the same goes for me, Patrick Melton, but why would anybody want to hear about Trez Mala and, like, how he got his starts? It's like, people want to know how Jim Carrey got started. People want to know how Louis C.K. got started. Why? Well, we've seen you in a lot of stuff, and we wonder, like, hey, how did you pop? It's like, Trez Mala hasn't done anything. People getting off the tour bus at the Hoover Dam aren't going like, hey, where were you born? Hey, how'd you get into doing this gig? Like, no one gives a shit. So it's weird to, like, do this podcast. You're like, hey, I'm Moonbeam Fucknuts, and I'm going to interview Bad3. It's like, we don't know either one of you. So why am I listening to this? Like, I don't know where Trez Mala is. Why do I give a fuck where he came from? Do you know what I mean? So it's a weird narcissism. Again, shocker, I know, coming out from Ty's circle. How could it be? But they all do this. You know, he's copying radio. He's interviewing like no. When we're watching the Tonight Show and Richard Kimmel or whoever interviews who's a big star now. I don't even know. You know, what are all their names? Who's the big stars now? I couldn't even tell you. Bruno Hemsworth, you know. It's like, well, no, we have, like, he's interviewing Bruno Mars because Bruno Mars has a song we've all heard, and now we are interested in Bruno Mars. It's like, no one knows what Moonshine Jones has done, and no one knows what Trez Mala has done. So, like, why do I give a fuck, like, how, hey, man, what made you how you are? It's like, we don't know how you are, other than really bad with stories and talking. Deep cut, wow. What?
Be like, oh, we got ourselves a comedian. Be like, oh, shit, you know, like,
he's another one of these guys who acts shy when people, like, He loves it. Believe it. He loves it when people find out he's a comedian. Oh, shit. Here I go. I got to do some jokes. He probably does jokes for people when they ask, too. He's that fucking basic and new.
So one day I was working at Spago's as a busboy, and I was 20 years old.
Do you know what I mean?
And
do you see what I mean? Like a busboy at Spago. Okay, so like, it's never like I left JPL to do comedy. You know what I mean? It's never that. Like, I'm just waiting for my big break. That's why I'm sweeping up vomit at the bus station. But any day now, I'm actually a really gifted comedic mind.
One of the dudes was like, yeah, man, I was on stage shredding. I was like, yo, you doing stand-up? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, I didn't know. I'm like, how do you break into the business? You know, I thought you had to, because I went.
Like, you still don't know how to break into it. You can't. I love this guy. Like, well, how I broke into the business was, but I remember back when I hadn't broken in yet, how fucking naive I was, you know? The irony of that now. It's like, what? By the way, don't we have to wrap this up so you can head back and pick up another boatload of people?
One time I went down to the Riviera to the comedy club. It was closed. I went like in the middle of the day, but I went down to the Riviera to go ask him like how to start. Like I just wanted to get into stand up, and luckily no one was there because I probably would have been really embarrassed, like my approach, you know.
Yeah.
But old boy was like, "Oh, there's a open mic." I'm like, "What's that?" And he was like, "It's where you go and start telling jokes." And I'm like, "Anybody?" And they're like, "Yeah." So there's this place here in Las Vegas called the La Bombardier, and it ended up being a gay bar. Still is a gay bar, but
just when you're there or all the time?
A bunch of things. But it used to have a Statue of Liberty in front of it, and it was on Sahara. But it had a plane too.
Okay.
There was a plane that like crashed into the building.
Like, okay, so this is like a perfect example of the kind of guy we're dealing with. It's like he can't stay on a story or give you actually interesting or necessary points of a story at all. Like, he has to tell you everything that comes into his mind. He can't stop thinking for a think stop. Like, here's what just happened. He just goes, this is so fucking insane that I even, like, this is fucking nuts. He's like, anyway, there used to be this place called the Bombardier. It was on Sahara and this, and then they also used to have a plane out front, and their hours were 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. But then they also did a brunch on Sundays. There's like, but the brisket's still on the menu, but they actually don't have it anymore. They took it out. It's like, this was already a tangent, and now you're like just going off further. Like, fucking focus, Bad3. Bad3. Bad3.
Way before 9/11, you know.
Yeah.
But it was called the
Like what if? Yeah, we know it was called a Bombardier. We know it ended up being a gay bar. We know. You've given us the whole history of the place, and it's not even relevant to the story. This was before 9/11. It's like great, man.
Bombardier, and that was my start. I went up and I got a couple of laughs.
Like, listen to him. Like, try to think. I went up and I got a couple of laughs. I'm telling you, find me someone around town who will vouch for you being funny. Everyone thinks you're a joke. I was told by no fewer than 3 people, I'm not kidding, that like it's known around town in circles that you're like the shit host. You know what I mean? Like if they want to get somebody good, you know, they'll have like Tom Baum do it. If they want, well, they'll never get you to do it. You know, they'll let you do it when you ask to like put you off. But I know you host that show down at Chunkle's Casino every fucking time. Ty will say he's funny. No, he won't. Ty won't speak. Won't speak. But listen, but like this guy, like you only perform Tuesday nights at the Chunkless Casino. Come on.
And that was
every once in a while he gets a gig around town. Like no one thinks this guy's funny. No one is working this guy. He can't. You have a fucking day job. Shut your goddamn mouth. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You keep my name out of your mouth, you piece of shit.
Just the fact that I knew that
People
I
would get that mad
to go and try out jokes. My only problem was I spent years.
It's only problem. I can't wait.
Like probably 2 years telling like inside jokes.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't telling.
You spent 2 years answering this question.
I was telling jokes that made all my friends laugh because everybody knew what we were all talking about.
Yeah, and
you've never made all your friends laugh. Liar.
That's the thing. Real quick, I can say that I remember exactly the first time I went on stage.
Even Moonshine's getting tired of his long answers. He's trying to give him subliminal clues, like real quick. You know.
People don't understand that I literally didn't know what I was talking about. There's actually, I'm not going to mention.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder, like, on his Hoover Dam bus tours, which is like an hour away from here.
Bill Maher, he's been on The View.
How many times he just drives by because he's just babbling?
My idea that I had for a joke, he goes up on stage and uses the damn thing. And I was like,
oh, yeah.
Boy, that's the introduction to comedy there. But yeah, what you're saying right there, man. By the way, we got Trez Mala right now on the Moonshine Jones.
Yeah, in case you're just joining us.
Soldhere.com.
10-4, good, buddy.
I don't care. What we were doing, we didn't know what we were doing. We just knew we were trying to make people laugh. And the thing is, dude, I should have quit years ago.
We know.
A unique, different kind of look at the world. I was influenced by Richard Pryor. I was influenced by people that said, remember, Tom Cruise said,
This is like, do you understand the mania and narcissism of these guys? Like, do you hear them all? They're all the same. They all say the same shit. Like, hey, man, I should have quit. I'm too different for this industry. It's over for me. I'm too edgy. You just said, man, I'm different than these people. I think differently. I was influenced by Richard Pryor. It's like, that's the most hack answer to who were you influenced by in comedy. Like, if you ask me these questions, I don't answer them. I don't play this game. I'm not here to fucking, like, do a one-on-one. Can you imagine? Hashtag can you imagine? Can you imagine saying that? Trying to make a point, using that for a point. Just like, I'm too different, man. I was influenced by Richard Pryor. It's like, holy shit. You and every young comic ever.
What the fuck, I mean, go for it. And
by the way, everyone's influenced by everything. It's called growing up in an environment. Look it up. Science. It's next to the masks.
Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to say right now. Me and you, exactly.
Everything you're trying to say. Like, this podcast could be 5 minutes. I'm just... They sound like they can't get their brain to work.
We're completely in the same boat on that and trying to let people know right there that how tough it is to go up there the first time. Now, Trez, let me ask you this. When do you remember when you felt like you were really starting to get things together and you were getting good?
I'll let you know when it happens.
Well, my first turning point. My first turning point was.
I can't. Come on. Well, my first turning. Okay.
I was in line.
Fuck.
somebody like
I'm not pausing it. This is actually how long he's taking to talk.
was like having some drama or something like that. But like they came in all sideways. They came in all crazy. And I don't remember what I said, but I made a comment, and again the whole place laughed. And I was
Why is that funny? Hey, the whole place laughed.
And it was like, because I was making a comment about it was like a comment that it was like something that affected all of us.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was that I said that was really funny, but here's a really unfunny, way longer version of it.
And I just remember thinking to myself, I was like, that's what I need to do. I need to talk about, I need to tell jokes about stuff that's like about all of us instead of like, because I'd seen comedy from a point where guys have worked on their material, so they've worked on their material and they've got a name, and so people were like more invested in them. You can start telling jokes about your personal life, and people will actually give a shit when you're famous, or you're at least a headliner. But
he thinks that people, wow. I think we just discovered something really crazy. He thinks that when you're starting out in comedy, you can't talk about yourself or your personal life or stories because people don't care about your personal life or stories when you're not famous. Now, this is different than what we just talked about, like being interviewed. I don't want to hear a boring story about how you got into comedy. If you have a funny story about growing up with an autistic sister that is structured well into a joke format, with a funny setup and a funny punchline, two things I've heard not out of your mouth this entire time. You don't even have like good inflection. Like all these guys are so dull. They all act bothered to even be doing it. Like he couldn't bother to shut the door, stop doing things. Like, hey, tell your wife, tell your whatever. Like, daddy needs to be alone. I need 1 hour. It's just like, these are guys who, again, will drive. We just saw it. Thai Rivera drove 9.5 hours each way or whatever. 9 hours each way to perform for 40 people. It's like we've all seen the Rosie O'Donnell movie. Oh, riding the bus with my sister. Yeah.
As a open mic or just a getting started comedian, you need to have like jokes about the world and life,
Yeah.
And then that other stuff like happens. And so that's where I like turned the corner on that. And then I was doing comedy. Now what happened is I like most people, I always wanted to do music. I always wanted to play music, but I wasn't good. I didn't really, I got into it, but I wasn't like, crazy, whatever. I ultimately wanted to play drums, but my grandparents were like, no, you can't play drums. We're not doing that. And I was like, okay.
Okay.
So I picked up the guitar, and I was like,
it's just like,
I like jazz. You know what I mean? Like, these guys, like, there's just a lot more freedom to the playing,
Yeah.
Very regimented. And so when I started, like, paying attention to music and my likings of what I like, I was like, yo, man, I go, if I was ever be in a band, I'd have to write the song, have to practice the song, have to play the song, have to record the song, have to sound test the song, have to keep playing. And I was like, that's a lot of repetition.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I was like, I don't want to do that. That's too much repetition for me. I don't, I'm like, so I don't want to be a musician. I go, but I was like, I want to get out. I got a message. I got something I want to do. So then that's like what drove me to comedy. And I was like,
I got a message. I got a message, guys. Fuck yeah. He's talking about the song like Bubba talks about shrimp. Yep.
Yo, man. Because being ignorant of comedy, I was like, yo, man, fucking, I get to go up and just be...
Dude, I hate to tell you, you're still fucking ignorant of comedy. Meet me outside. Meet me in the yard.
Funny and shoot from the hip, every time. You find out that's not the case. Like, a comedian's been telling the same jokes for fucking decades sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, well, not me.
Brother man.
I'm a different kind of comedian. So as we all think we are, in a sense, is like we're going to break the maxims.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to start doing improv, and I'm going to mix my improv with my stand-up, so I'll just be a fucking dynamo.
Now it all makes sense.
So I got into improv, and I got into it really heavy here with Second City in Las Vegas. I had some great teachers, met some great people. And then there was a comedian there. His name was Mike Lucas, and he was trying to write a book, and that really helped me with writing a book about stand-up, like how to write it, or like how to like find like your.
What is that noise? Is somebody reloading a printer cartridge?
And,
are you at the racetrack, Trez?
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the backyard, man. They people racing. I apologize.
No,
for that.
we'll get them later.
But I'll go back inside.
Break the maxims. Yeah.
That book.
Oh,
but I thought I was.
Yeah, the next time we do a meetup in Vegas, we all have to go on this bus tour and just listen to this guy riff. Look, he doesn't want to do comedy like your dad's comedy, bro. He wants to, dude, he's going to learn improv and throw that up, He took rap and hip hop and found a hella way to fuse it. It's like, I'm gonna do crowd work and I'm gonna be fire, yo. Nobody's doing this. It's like, okay. Like we've heard you riff, okay? Is there anyone around watching this currently or anytime in the future who would like to get together with me and dispute my ability to riff? Like, do you want, and I'm just talking about on the podcast, Like, on the podcast, in this format, you have to be relatively entertaining. You can kind of not be. People drone in and out of it. People come in and out of it. People do different things while they listen. I don't assume that, like, I'm front and center of your whole fucking brainwave function right now. I get it. But, like, I'm able to, like, come up with ideas, formulate those into English sentences, and then talk. Moody's got it. For a guy who started with improv, he has trouble yes-anding. Correct. Like, people are asking you very basic questions that you should have answered a million times in your quote-unquote career. The comedy one, not the bus one. You've got to be able to talk, and we've seen you here. You're not quick. You're not good at riffing. And the idea that you're going to like do improv and get good at crowd work. And by the way, you're talking about this like it's past tense and like now you've graduated and are a black belt. Like I'm telling you, bro, you can't riff. You're not funny. I don't remember anything you've ever said on stage. I can't, I do think we've worked together, but I don't remember. But I've had 3 comics tell me, like not in a jokey way, but like that you're consistently bad. You bomb all the time, and that it's one of comics' favorite pastimes to sit in the back of a room and giggle while you fall flat on your face. That's just what I heard.
Just be just this stand-up comedy improv dynamo.
It sounds like Wes. Weasel.
And I end up getting involved real heavy with the improv. And a little side note,
just the voice, Wes. I didn't mean like what he's saying. Okay, I've never seen you act this insane.
Improv, you let me to be doing meeting and doing improv with Tim Herb Alexander, the drummer from Primus.
Okay, wow.
it led to me doing improv with Herb Alexander, the drummer from Primus. And then Moonshine Dipshit has to go, oh, wow. Like any of us, like if you told me the drummer from Primus was outside and was on fire, I wouldn't take my mask off to blow him out. Like, what are you talking? Like, do we believe for 1 minute that Moonshine Jones is into Primus? You know, it's weird that Trez is. I don't think Trez is. I just think he's aware of it. It's kind of like, you ever see this is the old trope, but like somebody comes up, there's like a crowd of people crowding around somebody famous, you know, on a beach or in a store or at a mall or in a parking lot or like somebody famous, you know, and there's a million people around them and somebody will go like, hey, what's going on over there? And they'll go like, that's so-and-so from such and such. And like, you've never heard of them. And you've never heard of the thing that they're in. But you run over for an autograph? Because it's like, well, I'm, you know, FOMO. It's like, okay. That's what this reminds me of. Just as much logic.
Yeah, it was a super nice guy, but he was into the comedy and stuff. But anyways,
I did improv with the drummer from Primus. It's like, I don't know where to put that on my list of things I'll not only now, but never give a fuck about. Like, oh, and by the way, this is the type of fucking idiot too who will use that on like a bio. Like these guys all like when they have nothing, they use you saying you opened for somebody, you know. It is not a credit, so stop doing it. Okay, like you literally, like just listing people you've opened for is insane. We assume that if you're like applying to work at a comedy club, you've opened for people. I don't assume that you've headlined your entire career. Like it doesn't even make sense. It's like telling me that the hats in your store are new. It's like, I mean, I assumed that they were. It's like Jess will make offensive credit on Denny's. Yeah, you're right. It's like, I can't.
Did you feel that, Trez? You just dropped a name and I felt it. Above it. Go ahead.
No, but I started making money bartending. Mm-hmm. And so I probably spent like 8 years, like
imagine having to say I started making. Can you imagine? I started making money bartending. Is like whatever you like. I started bartending, and I was making money at it. Like
off stage, like just on and on, because there wasn't much going around. But that's when like a lot of like what are, you know. Like,
oh yeah, it's like Nathan Slade, rest in peace, and Mudvayne. Or when I used to tell people that the board we use for the podcast is also used to record an album by Yellow Card. Okay.
Getting out of it, that's when a lot of guys started getting into it that are like making a living doing comedy out here from Vegas. So it's like I kind of like missed a window of opportunity. Okay.
So now, and this is another thing they say, these losers. You know, this is like Ty saying YouTube. He didn't make any money off YouTube because it's hard for an edgy person like him to monetize. Again, I put a video up a week ago called "Send Blacks Back to School." Like, it's the most triggering clickbait thing ever. You know, to say I can't do anything edgy. And now he's got this excuse like, the reason I have to do bus tours now, a lot of the guys out here making money are doing what I was doing back then, but I just missed my window. It's like, bitch, you never had a window. Okay, you never got off the ground. You couldn't crawl out a window if the building was on fire. Your window, please. The fireman would have been down at the bottom with one of those big rubber trampoline thingies. They would have lobbed you back through. I missed my window. These guys always have an excuse for why it's not happening for them. You know what I mean? it accept where you're at. Just try to do better with where you're at. Try to improve. Don't walk around cocky. Don't walk around shitting on people. It's insane. It's like, it's a reason I don't do it. Like it just looks foolish. It doesn't age well. There's no talent to what I'm doing, going over every word you say and just providing commentary on it and making you look stupid. The things I have working for me are that I am actually funny and I can put sentences together as I fuck it up. I can put sentences together in my head and then execute them usually out of my mouth with some level of precision. The difference with you is you don't do this a lot. And you are new at talking good. So it's weird then to run around like shitting on comics and talking from this pedestal when you really have no skill or street cred per se to propel you to that level. It doesn't bode well to walk around with your fucking fairy star wand going, this guy's a comic. This guy's not a comic. This guy, it's like, who the fuck are you? And then now this is what we do. Now we have to go over everything you've ever done to show you the error of your ways. And also because, none of us are doing anything.
I missed the window of opportunity with some guys.
Yeah. Let me tell you something, sweetheart. You're not good enough to make it. And I'll quit comedy if you ever make it. But you ain't going to make it.
But when I came back to comedy...
This is why I think he's a conspiracy nut, too, so he can blame that. Like, I like Trump. That's why I'll never be a headliner. It's like, okay.
Probably around, started doing comedy.
And it'll be like, this guy's an idiot. I headline at the Chunkless Cantina Casino all the time.
Taking it serious again was about, 2007, 2008, when I was like, all right, I'm hitting the mics. And I made the decision that I wasn't going to do. I made the decision that comedy is to preserve free speech and to exercise my constitutional right, and to make a point and be funny.
When does that start?
And that's where up until the name was given to me. I always, my whole thing.
Does he stutter like this on stage? Up until.
My whole thing is I tell people, I'm like, dude, just stop and think for a second. Think before you act. Just stop and think, what's going on, what's being played. The times I haven't done that, I've burned me.
ThinkStopper.
So, yeah, and that's I've had so many people tell me, like, man, I'll be scrolling along and I'll just read your post and it makes me stop and think. And then Jack Slammy, my show producer.
Okay, so a lot to unpack here, but this is the crux of Trez. He really thinks this. This is like a real way of thought, like a fucking way of life even for this guy. This is a path he walks. He thinks he's one of the only chosen few people who really stop and think. Okay? Obviously, the first level of irony of this whole situation is the fact that, ThinkStopper is the name of your podcast, and that doesn't... It doesn't conjure up the thought of stop and think. It conjures up stop thinking. ThinkStopper. The person who stops thinking. If I have a drain stopper, that stops a sink from draining. If I'm a think stopper, doesn't that stop me, my brain, the understood subject, from thinking? Drain stopper stops from draining. ThinkStopper stops from thinking. You know? Bug zapper zaps a bug. Are you noticing a trend? We have patterns in the English language that offer context clues that can help us sometimes. So that's the first level, just right there. But you got to know that this guy thinks that he, like everyone else, is in a fog, man. Like, just stop and think about it. We're going to get to the part about comics versus comedians, and then I'd like to move on because there's some other stuff you really should see as before you make your verdict.
I work with here in Vegas, who's a fucking maniac. He's like the only guy putting on a real comedy show during the pandemic.
I know Jack.
He was like,
Yeah, but so by the way, they've been doing this comedy show like May, June. You know, they're like, we're the only ones doing it out here. These pussies, fucking respecting life and the wishes of scientists. Look at these people out here trying to. I call them spread stoppers. You know, they're out here trying to stop the spread. Hold on, wait. Maybe spread stoppers are supposed to stop and spread. I don't know what anything means anymore. You've really mallet up my trays.
yeah. He goes, you're just the ThinkStopper, aren't you? And I was like, what? He goes, you're always fucking making people question what the fuck's going on, you know? And I was like, so that's how I got the name.
Oh, okay. So you have a dumb friend who came up with this name, and you were like, oh. So this is much worse than I thought. This is a much more serious brain injury. 2 people involved in this now. So somebody came up with it, which was a bad idea for the reasons we've already covered, about that it means stop thinking. And then you co-signed it with your tiny brain. You were like, that is a good name. I am the ThinkStopper. Fuck you. See if that domain's taken. Welcome to ThinkStopper. Dope hat. You're a dope hat. Trez might be the biggest idiot we've ever encountered on this program. Stay tuned for the verdict because I've got a lot of stuff to show you. I haven't eaten today. It's 6:30 p.m. So I'm not doing well, and we may have to take another break here soon. We're coming up on an hour and 40. Yeah, we'll take a break at 2 hours. We'll finish up the podcast though. I'm not going to finish the podcast, but we're going to get to the part where he gets to what he meant by the comment that introduced me to him. When he said that I'm a comic, not a comedian. We're going to find out what that means. And when you take it in context with everything we've already covered, it will make your brain explode. Stay tuned. I'm Patrick Melton. I'm Patrick Fairman, and I'm a Fairman.
I started running with that, the ThinkStopper, because I just thought it was a good little ditty. It went along with my whole thing.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, this guy came up with this really shitty name, and I thought it was great. So we were both real fucking dumb. And I just immediately, I don't think about things too long. I just get on them.
But no, my whole thing was like, I'm telling the truth.
I mean, listen to this stumbling, bumbling idiot. My whole thing is wow.
Truth, you know, and I'm going to tell the truth on not just politics, but just like.
By the way, like you saying things that you think are true, but have no proof of, you know, like, let's go with flat Earth, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, okay, I guess the real thing is like, I haven't been up, so I don't know, but you haven't been up and you don't know. The difference is I'll admit that and you'll be like, no, but there is proof. You know what I mean? Like, you are not a bright person, you know, and we've already shown that like somebody can tell you something and then that person can tell you. Hold on. Somebody can tell somebody you know something and then that person will tell you. And as long as you trust the person in the middle who's an honest person, you know, you'll believe it. So like, you're not good at facts and like, you know, really thinking, which it's just odd to like say you're into critical thinking and then be just dog shit at it.
It's absurd.
Across the board.
Let's make life. Let's make life fun by making fun of ourselves and the shit that
what
we do. And, you know, I'm still a dick and fart joke guy to my core. you know?
With Trez.
He's like, that's when I knew I had to make comedy a place to stick up for free speech and to say and to speak up for our rights. But I'm a dick and fart joke guy to the core. It's like, I mean, all these guys just contradict themselves like left and right, left and right, left and right. I'm not a serious man. I only want to be silly and have fun. But I also will burn your car down with your family inside.
That being said,
not yours, but you know, like the proverbial you. Like I don't know where you live or what your car looks like. Also, I don't have the energy or the gas. I have an all electric Sunfire.
Let's go ahead and take a quick break real quick.
Oh fuck.
Not for you.
Let's take a quick break real quick. We're doing haikus?
But for the audience. And we'll be right back with Trez Mala, comedian from Las Vegas.
Oh, man.
Nevada. We're going to talk a little bit about
Watch this.
His quest.
I'm not going to touch the button. We're taking a break.
People that are fighting against, it'll get out here eventually, against the people that are fighting, His quest to say, hey, wait a second, why can't we talk about this? Much more to come with.
Hold on, before there's another like dummy thing. I think Dan Ninen had a bit of this. Adam Sapphire, you can do it. We're on NLO Radio as well, streaming on NLO Radio. The link is on our website. So feel free to listen on NLO Radio. We're streaming on Facebook as well. That might be a better connection for you. And we're also live on Twitch. If you're watching on Facebook or listening on NLO Radio, come on over to Twitch. It's the best place to be. Smoke Euros. Smoke Euros. Roll up a Euro. Smoke it. Fuck, what was I going to say? You guys got me off so fucking distracted. God damn it. Fuck. I don't want to rewind it because sometimes it doesn't fucking do it just right.
Sponsored by Flags Sold Here.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We're going to talk a little bit about his quest to fight people that are fighting against, it'll get out here eventually, against the people that are fighting, His quest to say, hey, wait a second, why can't we talk about this?
Right. Okay. So dumb people also are constantly like fighting enemies that don't exist. This is like another super popular like campaign technique also. But like Dipshit Jones or whatever is like we'll be right back with Trez Mala to talk about why, how he's standing up to the people who are telling us we can't talk about this. And it's like, who? I'm sorry. Who is the tour bus driver standing up against? You know what I mean? It's always like these fucking insignificant people who are like standing up and giving the government what for. You know what I mean? Like, can you believe that a mild-mannered bus tour operator has uncovered the conspiracy about the moon being hollow and the government living inside? It's like, what? It's like, what? This is literally like a comic book plot, What just happened? Oh, okay. It's so insane. It's like, yeah, I mean, between doing comedy and my podcast and the bus tours, I barely have time to stand up and fight this oppressive regime. It's like, what are you talking about? You're standing up against the people who are telling you what you can't talk. It's like, literally no one is doing that. Literally no. Well, the bus company you work for might tell you what you can't talk about. But, I bet that only happened after you did something you shouldn't have. No bus company comes out the first day and they're like, please don't hit on kids. You have to do that before somebody brings it up. Let's go to an ad break for Fly Your Flags Over Here, racists.
Much more to come with Trez Mala. This is the Moonshine Jones podcast, sponsored by FlagsSoldHere.com.
Fuck yeah.
And we're back here with Trez Mala, comedian extraordinaire from Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah. Earlier, we were talking with Trez, and he was talking about what got him into comedy, talking about the story about his grandfather. And before we get started, I always let people know, I want to know about your family. I want to know about what makes a person on the show who they are.
Yeah.
And generally,
I want to know the lineage of retardation that led to this. Whoever's here this week, I need to know where this stop thinking comes from. Well, it's actually a very interesting story. My grandfather never believed in thinking, so I never started. You
have a person with a good point of view and strong characteristics. It's because they were.
That's the other thing is like, there's nothing this guy has said which is strong or an interesting or original point of view. He's like, I'm standing up to people who are telling me I can't say stuff. And it's like, oh, he must be strong. He's standing up to people. It's like, no. I mean, this guy's not standing. Like, there's no one. That's not a real thing he just said. You're all distracted by hollow moons, which is not a thing.
Raised by the right kind of people. And it looks like Trez definitely had a good upbringing, especially with his grandfather, with good,
what are we doing in the back, guys? Can we?
Good characteristics that he raised you with, good standards, good morals. So,
definitely.
We are with Trez again, sponsored by FlagsSoldHere.com.
Oh my God. How many flags can a person buy?
Trez, I want to get right to it. I want to hear. Yeah. Tell me the first. I feel like Geraldo here.
You shouldn't. He has talent.
Tell me the first time, and then move it along to the next time when you were working on a joke. You were around comedians, and here's the thing to set it up for some people. People don't understand. This is a liberal art. I understand that. Trez understands that. If you go on a comedy stage and you have multiple comedians, it's like being surprised if you go to South Africa and see great white sharks. I mean, this is just what it is. And to a degree, they're not great white sharks, but they're little backstabbing little bitches. But anyway, did I say that? So,
wow.
With that being,
who hurt you, Winebox?
Can you go back to the first time that you remember when you were like, hey, somebody said something to you?
Said something as far as...
That was not a pause. That was just that was a straight up brain fart.
Said something to you, I'm sorry, as far as, hey, we can't talk about that, or, we can make fun of Christians, white people, Trump, and it sounds like the Rocky Trump, but you can make fun of anything to do with modern civilization and the norm, but you cannot make fun of liberals, transsexuals, gay people, anything that's not the norm, that is part of And don't get me wrong.
Wow, this guy's argument. This guy. Sorry, I was packing a little pipe here, but this guy's argument is like, well, you can make fun of Trump, but you can't make fun of trans people or anybody who's not normal. It's like, oh shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, first of all, it doesn't matter what you actually believe. Like, you claim to be a person who stops and thinks. So, like, read the room. You cannot, like, you just can't say it. Like, you just can't say that. So, but also, like, really, like, you want to make fun. You just said, I can't make fun of transgendered because they're not normal. It's like, are you okay? Like, what the fuck? Like, how much of your material is trans material? Like, it's a little,
Listen to this long enough will know I have no problem with people, whatever your sexual orientation is.
This is what they always say. Oh, fuck, I can't believe he's about to say this. He's about to go, this is the thing they all say. They all go, I got no problem with gay people. But he's actually taking it a step further and going back to, like, the thing, like, people said 20 years ago. He's about to say, just don't try to force it on me. It's like, is that a lot of that going on? A lot of, like, just gay guys popping out from behind dumpsters going, hey, Is that even, this is insane. Like, I bet he laughs too. I bet he has a real giggle. Like, hey, just don't go next to mine sucking your dick. I bet he, like, that's the kind of dude. Like, and so they all get mad. They all invent these enemies. Like what he just did. He just said, like, how come you can go to an open mic and you can do Trump jokes, but you're not allowed to do any jokes about liberals or retards? It's like, I mean, you can. Like, if you go up and start doing a joke about liberals or retards, you can. But part of being a comic is playing to the audience, and reading a room is a part of that. And knowing that we live in this woke nightmare. Look, I'm on your side about it. It's insane. Still the world we live in. And you have to know that if you go up and do all your inward material, Netflix, you are probably going to get rocked to death on stage or in the parking lot. Just the way, like, that's just where we're at. So it's like, no, there's no, like, sign-up sheet at the honky tonk where you perform with a rule at the top that's like, no in jokes. Like, you go up and do it, Go up and do a liberal joke. Go up and make fun of Kamala Harris. It's not going to go well. If you're just doing it for you, then, that's what this podcast is for, pretty much.
On me. Don't make me sit there and have to watch, a gay gangbang. But
it's like, what? Hey, I got no problems with gay, but don't force it on me. Don't make me try to watch a gay gangbang. It's what? Like, can you imagine this still being bandied around by people?
That's a great visual, folks.
Congress.
Yeah, get the kids away from the podcast. But yeah, kind of give me an idea when the first time that something hit in your head and you're like, wait, this isn't free speech.
Here we go.
Okay, so here's my deal. Here's my deal. This has always been my take about it.
My deal. Here we go. I think this is it.
You can run your business, your show, however the hell you want. Okay, you can run it however the hell you want. House rules are house rules. If this is what the house says, all right, that's the rules we're playing by. I get it. I don't like it. I get it. I'm not going to sit there and argue somebody in a place that's their place of business. I'll do what I got to do, cut the check, and I'm out. Now, going to a place where they don't like what you say, I have yet to have anybody come up to me in person. Well, no, that's not true. Not so much what I said, but I haven't had anybody come up to me and get
today,
Trez. People don't like what I say, and I've had people voice their opinion like I fucking care, which is funny. But
did they start calling? Is I bet this isn't his real name. Since Trez Mala means Bad3. Maybe like when he first started doing open mics and he would get 3 minutes, his nickname around the club became Bad3. Like, oh, this is going to be a Bad3. We got a Bad3 coming up. Up next, it's Bad3. Sorry. And then they had to start coding it. Trez Mala. And he was like, oh, it's a cool nickname. It goes with my other cool nickname, Guy Who Doesn't Think. He just hears things. He's like, oh, that must be good.
You know,
you're nothing like Cinco Bueno. Get out of here. Dick.
Hold on 1 second. My wife's trying to buzz me.
Hey, I understand, man. We live in a world where...
Hey, man, we all got digital what's-its and who's-its and what's-its galore. You want notifications? I got 20.
To have, like, a problem with, like, you know, to have a problem with what I said, you know, or afterwards, you know, usually people avoid me.
Really?
Why?
Yeah, that's usually what ends up happening is I get avoided. I don't get, you know, online I'll get more.
You know, sometimes people run into me like on the way to Hoover Dam or whatever, but for the most part,
I'll get more antagonism. I'll get more people like, you know, like
because they can say anything they want online.
Yeah, and in person, I don't know. Sometimes, and I don't see myself at all. Sometimes I've had people say that I have like an intimidating presence. I'm like, I was once.
Yeah, guys who can't put a sentence together terrify the fuck out of me. I'm not even kidding you. Like, this guy probably is the kind of guy who will just beat my ass the next time he sees me. I can give zero shits about it. Like, if that's what I have coming, that's what I have coming. But, you know, like, I'm not dumb. Like, when you go up and do a joke about Kamala Harris being shit, you're going to get booed. You know, I know that if I talk enough shit about a guy with a low enough IQ, you know, one day he'll rumble me as I'm walking to my earth-sensible vehicle, because I'm a snowflake. No, I don't think this guy's a bad guy. He seems like a family guy. And you got to also know that, like, on a podcast, like, people are bowing up and just talking mad shit. You know, I'm high. I don't want to let that to take away from the fact that I do think you might have some sort of mild brain damage. Did I say mild? But, man, I don't know. It's iffy.
A chubby kid. I have resting bitch face. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, right.
You know, like,
yeah.
I'm not I'm very stoic that, you know, I so maybe, you know, but, I don't speak about stuff. I don't talk about stuff I don't know. I don't defend things I don't know.
I mean, you do, Trez. It's kind of why we're here. Because I don't fucking know you. I'm not friends with you on Facebook. I don't know if we've ever been friends on Facebook. And then in a thread about me, you were like, yeah, he's not a real comedian. He's kind of a comic. So as far as I know, you do run your fucking mouth, liar. So, you know, this is recent too. This is, you know, in the past week. This is August 10th. This is 2 days ago. So this guy's a fucking liar. You know this is on his mind.
I'll ask questions. And I think for a lot of people, that's as dangerous in of itself to people because they can't get you on board with their bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not somebody that's just easily charged by emotion or anything, and that's what a lot of people do. If you ever notice when somebody gets into a tiff with somebody else, usually the first one that goes to Facebook and starts blasting is usually the culprit, the bad person in the thing.
I mean, look who the fuck is talking. This is a guy who, again, goes on everything Thai Rivera posts and is like, you know, liking, fire, you know. You know, Bad3, man. Like, this is where that comes from. Like, you're insane. Like, you're literally on Facebook running your mouth. So what?
It's like, you know, what's the old saying? The lie gets halfway around the world before the truth gets its pants on.
Or whoever smelt it dealt it.
You know?
Yeah, that is another thing people say. Thanks, Moonshine.
But you know, in comedy though, I've only had people avoid me and
yeah, I believe that.
gatekeep me.
Bookers.
You know, I've been kept off of shows. I've been booked on shows, and then I've been hit up like the day before the show saying, "Hey, you know, we don't think that this is going to be a fit for our audience," and da 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 da. And I was like, and it's solely off of my Facebook because my stand-up.
I think you're grossly overestimating the number of people who have been to your Facebook page. He's like, yeah, just keep getting canceled because I'm too edgy. It's like maybe they asked around town and everyone said you're shit. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's like of course he thinks people are after him for his right-leaning opinions. Of course he thinks that. He is a conspiracy theorist. He literally thinks, this isn't a bit I've been doing, he literally thinks the moon is hollow. I have a friend who's texted me that he's gone off about this many, many times. So that's what we're dealing with. Yeah, he's being gate-kept. As if anyone's like looking him up. And by the way, we did.
I take a same but different approach. I don't hit people with that blunt force trauma like I do on I try to be crafty with my words.
You do not. I mean, this is some of the funniest stuff I've ever heard in my life. There's nothing crafty going on here.
And because if I did,
right, somebody makes a good point. Dave Chappelle has bits about trans stuff. The key is being funny. Netflix didn't tell him that he couldn't do that. Yeah, but he's a big name, so he's allowed to do personal stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Nothing he says makes sense. It's like, you can do something funny. I'm telling you, every comic I've talked to about you says you're not funny. Like, but that's that's Occam's razor. And I know that conspiracy theorists are, push hard against anything that could be explained with rationality.
No one knows what the hell I'm talking about anyway. And that's the frustrating thing, too.
Yeah.
I'm so, I'm considered a conspiracy theorist, but I'm just so deep down, the anti-mainstream media. I just know a lot of different shit. Like, I don't get my news from CNN and all these people. I get my news from people. I actually technically pay for my news because I follow Trends Journals.
Yeah.
And I pay an annual subscription to. You know,
he follows Fringe Journals. Fringe Journal. I don't get like we both agree mainstream news is fucking slanted and wrong. But I love the idea that you think fringe journals are independent. Like, this doesn't have any slant to it. It has a slant to it, and it's slanted towards insanity. It's inslanity. I get my news from fringe journals, so I'm a good guy. Like, okay. Fuck. Can you imagine?
You know, and these guys, they need to be right and they need to be on the money. So I'll be talking about shit, you know, a year or two ahead of time. And then people are like, oh,
Yeah, people don't even know about the hollow moon yet.
idiot, you know what you're talking about. Then it all happens and they're like, oh, you know, I've yet to have, I don't want to say yet, I've only had a few people been like, God damn it, dude, how many times are you going to keep being right? And I was like, dude, I don't want to be right.
I would like, you know, because I actually think we'll get along here. This is a nice man. This has all been a big misunderstanding, but I'd like to actually have Trez on and Trez on, Trez off. I think I have Trez on and we, is that French? And he makes some predictions. Because guys like this do this all the time too. Like how many times I got to be right before you guys start paying attention? And then it's like, what are a couple of things you've been right about? And they're like, oh man, there's been so many, dude. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. You remember when they said, I called it when they said Twinkies were going away. So like, then it's always some like dumb thing like, I knew Obama wouldn't be president again in 2016. It's like, yeah, well, that's the rules.
You know, this is just, I follow trends. And that's as a comedian, that's what I do, is I follow trends,
right?
Call them out for what they are.
Yeah.
You know? All this virtue signaling bullshit, all the stuff that's going out. You know, and that's the thing is...
By the way, we agree on a lot of, you know, of course, like, no doubt. But here's where he loses me, when he thinks he's the only one who sees it. He's like, you guys are fucking idiots, you know, watching the mainstream news. It's like, they're lying to you, man. It's like, yeah, we all know. We all know they're trying to sell Charmin. Like, we're not done. Like, he really thinks, like, nobody else is thinking about this. It's like, yeah, man, we're all on.
Everybody's on this whole fuck Trump thing, you know? And it got so bad.
I mean, people are on the fuck Trump thing because he acts like a goddamn idiot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, even just from an embarrassment level, let's throw all policy aside. Like, it's embarrassing as fuck. He also is an idiot. He's a straight up fucking idiot. Look, I'm not a Biden fan. I am not a Biden fan. I'm not on board with Kamala Harris. So again, I'm not, the difference between me and you is not being one thing doesn't automatically make me a different thing. Like, I'm not into either one of your liars that are running, the blue one or the red one. Don't care. You're just like, but people who hate Trump don't even like Trump. It's like, okay.
That you can't even be just not on team fuck Trump.
Sick burn.
You don't even have to be a Trump supporter. You just don't have to be hating on him.
Yeah.
And they want your livelihood. You know, yeah. I dealt with people.
I mean, what he's saying is, if you're not hating Trump, they come after your livelihood. It's like, really? When was the last time you clocked in at the bus depot and they were like, "This is Bill. He'll be doing the tour today," until you change your attitude about Trump. Like, they'll come for your career, your livelihood, bro. It's like, comedy ain't your livelihood. Or did you forget?
Yes. When I was a bartender, yeah. If you didn't comp out these people that threw in $5 playing a quarter at a time, and you didn't comp them like a Patron or a Jägermeister or a Cavassier or something that was like a high-end deal, then they'd be like, "Oh, let me talk to the manager. I want to." They have the appearance of being an individual. They promote themselves individually and stuff, but collectively, they all want to follow along because no one wants to be out of the gang, out of the clique, out of the club.
He's so like, this is how like really dumb people think, though. They're just like, y'all are all just scared to be individuals, and it's like, no, like I think it's weird. The same way I think it's weird to be shitting all over Trump every second. Like, I think that's cringe. Shitting all over Trump, you know, loving Biden. This is all cringe to me. Supporting Trump, sticking up for Trump. That's just as fucking cringe. You fucking weirdo. Like, this is so hard to listen to. a grown man act like this?
Because the comedy world will switch up on you in a second, you know? It's not like
the comedy world will switch up on you in a second. Yeah, it's almost like you've picked a career that it mirrors society in some way. Weird, man. That's fucking crazy. You think movies will be in HD soon since we have the capability to do that now, or we'll just stick with black and white forever? Oh, things move on? Cool. Great observation to make as an adult.
like for movies and all.
Hey, man, things change, Mox.
People, man, it's so, you know. But my whole thing with it is, you know, I come out, tell the truth, be funny, and people that don't like
tell the truth is not one of the rules of comedy. So, and again, you know, you going around going like, I know there's a hollow moon, I have proof, is not like telling the truth. You know what I mean? Also, you never have to show this proof. When we ask you for the proof, it always ends up being something like, because there's a documented guy who worked at NASA, and when he left, he said it. And then on his deathbed, he was going to sign a certificate that said hollow moon, and then he disappeared. And it's documented. And you're like, where? And you're like, NASA, on their website. So on their website, they have a thing, they have a section dedicated to the man they kidnapped and disappeared because he has secrets. They have a section of their website that says, I don't know, man. See, you're like all the other liberal cucks. Snowflakes. It's like, what are we talking about now? It's like classic misdirection. And I don't even think it's intentional misdirection. I think it's their brain works like that. Like I said, like anything, going back to a previous point is like backtracking. Why would I go back to not being a fag? Thai Rivera said, I'm a fag. He can't even like resubmit the job to his brain for reprocessing. He can fathom that. So like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I've already decided there's a hollow moon. So like giving you the evidence is going backwards. It's like, dude, there's a hollow moon. Catch up. What are we going to do about it? It's like, I don't know, man. What time do you get done with the bus tour? Maybe we can get together and formulate a plan. You know what I mean? It's always like these guys who are like, man, it's only us who know about the hollow moon. What are we going to do? I got a shift at the Dairy Shack. Like, okay.
Fuck them, you know? And one of the thing is, right now, is you have all these comedians. They're not comedians anyway, at any point. You have comedians.
Here we go. I think this is it. This is when he tells, this is coded, because this is a couple days ago. So this is about me. He's heard about all this stuff. What does he want? Here we go.
And you have comics. I don't know if you've ever heard me go off on this diatribe, but
no, we haven't. We're new here. Comedians versus comics. Wait till you hear this argument.
A comedian is somebody who lives the life of a comedian. It doesn't stop. You can't turn it off. You are a comedian. You're born that way.
That is me. Absolutely, 1,000%.
Yeah, you know, when shit's going down, bullets are flying, you're still finding the angle to crack a joke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, when the worst shit's happening, like these humor pops in, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
A comic is somebody who might have a little bit of a funny bone, but they need the material. They rely on the material. If they don't have the material, if they don't have the calculated things to say in the right conditions, it doesn't work for them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a musician. Well, I need an amplifier. You know what I mean? Like, or you know, something like that can actually hinder a show. Where a comedian's like, fucking, let's do it. Like, whatever, you know? Now, comics are actually are pushing for these shutdowns, these bans. They're shaming people for putting on shows.
Here we go. This is absolutely about me 100%. Okay, so here's what I need to break down to you before we take our break. He just said, comedians, they are comedy on the brain, 24/7, never shuts off. Other people are sad, other people are scared, other people are worried. Not a comic. They're always thinking of a joke, always firing, on. They don't need anything. They're ready to go, 24/7, true comic. Comedian. Comic, they really need the jokes. They need the script. They need the theater, the lights, the amplifier, the mic. You know, it's really about the experience, not so much them. They don't have the skills of a comedian. They're a comic. So, Trez, who we have found out speaks for a living at two let's call them jobs. Comedy and bus tour operator. Has done a podcast now for an hour where I have heard you stumble, fumble, bumble over your own stories, take side roads down streets that go nowhere into comedy cul-de-sacs, just void of any kind of personality or meaning. We've not heard you be particularly funny, interesting, able to riff, able to anticipate a question, think of a thought. We've seen no evidence of that. Like, if anything, it feels like you might be mildly fucking retarded. You don't know me. You don't know where I've worked. You don't know who I work for. And you run your mouth about me. I have talked to people about you. You are a laughing stock of Las Vegas comedy. Nobody takes you seriously. It's not an accident that you drive or do a tour for a living, okay? Any stage you want to get on, anywhere, any day, I'm game. Any contest, any state. You let me know your schedule. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, sir. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. All I've seen is evidence of a stumbling, bumbling moron. And you want to lump, shit into your hand and fling it at me? Let's go. Let's go, Big Papa. This is insane. And now listen to this is just about me. Listen to this.
Trying to make a living doing stand-up comedy, and then
he said comics like me are going around shitting on people doing comedy, comics trying to make a living doing stand-up. By the way, that's not even what I did. Ty interpreted something I wrote and then went around telling people that I meant this, but it's not even what I meant. The post is still up. Not even what I meant. They just ran. Again, they're not ThinkStoppers. These guys don't stop and think. Something pops in their head, and then they run hard down that road, trying to fucking fill in as much made-up evidence and ideas to support it as they can. And going back would go against everything they stand for. You know what I mean? Like, Ty read something, assigned meaning to it that wasn't there and didn't exist at all. And then got so mad about it, he unfriended me and went and told his wall about it. And then got a bunch of pats on the back and support for standing up to a mean bully. I never said comics shouldn't do shows. I never said they shouldn't be out doing shows. You guys made that up. And also, you talking on behalf of working comics and comics who are trying to make a living is laughable when I find out you do a bus tour. I'm sorry, sir. What? We're going to watch all your videos.
And also, as a comic,
every fucking one.
You're supposed to do your due diligence. Like, That's one of the things that really
double your view counts on most of them.
And it's tough for me to watch any TV shows or anything like that, movies, is because I know too much. I know the game and the narrative.
Absolutely.
So when I see comics,
he knows too much. It's hard to watch other comics because it's hard to see how dumb they are, and he has this clarity. Are you hearing this shit?
when I see comics making jokes off of like fake news,
fake news.
I was like, dude, don't you read? Like, did you read the article or just the headline? You know, like that joke is just, I can't laugh because it's totally wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
somebody twisted a headline and made a joke about it, and he can't laugh at the joke now. Look, I can't vote for Hillary because none of y'all admit she's a bad candidate. I can't laugh at the joke because it's wrong. It's like, what? Aren't you mad at people because they don't laugh at your jokes because they think you're wrong? It's like, so you're completely not accepting of other people's fallacies, but they need to be more accepting of yours. Okay. Bad3.
I wish sometimes I was a blue pill motherfucker. You know, just fucking clap like a fucking seal and feed me. You know, like,
yeah.
You know, but so being, you know, and I hate to say it.
Listen to this.
Co-opted the term, but being, you know, I don't like to say woke, but I snapped out of the hypnosis.
Yeah.
A long time ago, and it's appalling to me to see comedians, the people who were supposed to, you know, people that are portrayed as comedians that are against the First Amendment, against your right to.
Here he is back to being this free speech warrior. When a minute ago he's like, I'm all dick jokes to the core. It's like, what? Make up your mind, you know? Are you Bill Hicks or are you Bill Hicks?
Assembly, freedom of speech, you know, and then sucking up, kowtowing, and sucking up to the system. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like,
these are all just like catchphrases for idiots. What are you, like, sucking on the corporate teat, kowtowing to the man? It's like, what did you just watch something? Did you just watch 3 O'Clock High? What's happening?
I got to Vegas in December, the day before my birthday, December 11th, 2017. I was still 39. I got there and I turned 40. I go to an open mic because I'm so excited to be in Vegas. You know, it's Sin City. It's the lights, everything, all these stages to perform on. And I was just being myself. I go there to this one place over by the Ninja, by where they did the Ninja karaoke and all that shit. And on Main Street. There.
So we've got one guy who, like, makes up everything he believes, you know, and then doubles down on it with more bullshit. You know, and again, contradicts himself. Like, we've listened to 40 minutes of it. He's contradicted himself more times than we can begin to count, right? So, just a bunch of dog shit. We've got another guy who's came to Vegas and the lights and Sin City and everything. So, like, I've heard enough out of you. Like, you know what I mean? Literally, we have a hick who is talking about the lights. And we have a guy who is trying to make a living at comedy while he does bus tours. So you can all go fuck yourselves. You're insane. If you would like to hear the rest of this, if you're listening recorded, go on the Overdose, sign up. We're going to have a lot more Trez tonight. I do have to eat something. I do have to recharge my system. A lot of people in the chat are just saying, I just saw that they've been watching this all day. I'd like to give you a break. So what do you say we take an hour or two? I will be back. I know if you're on the East Coast, it's going to be too late. But I know if you're in New Zealand, it's going to be just fine. So let's take a break. Join the Overdose. Follow us on Twitch. Subscribe on Twitch. Are you enjoying this on Twitch? Wouldn't you like to be watching it with no ads at all? Help us out. Throw us a Twitch subscription. If you have Amazon Prime, it's free. Link up your account. But it's $4.99 a month. It helps the channel out. You get to watch ad-free. We'll be back. We'll be running this. I got probably 4 more hours in me tonight. I'm not kidding. The next stuff is the exciting stuff. What we've done so far is laid a base level down for Trez. What we have coming up is insane. You're not going to want to miss it. Go get yourself hydrated. Go get a drink. Go get some food. We'll be back here shortly, okay? We're going to kill the streams, and we'll come back. I love you. You love me. We're a happy family. Get in those subs. Get in those bits. You know, send in your twits. You know, I'm just a comic out here trying to make a living. Don't be a hater, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, squeezed.
I'm a supersized hero. Flapping my arms, oh baby, working on charms. And I'm cooler than De Niro. Just need to scale down, maybe drop a few pounds.